Can you even get 1,000 people to view one image? How long does it take to look at an AI generated image? Oh, it takes like 5 seconds. People aren't even interested in doing that. How long does it take to actually play a video game? You got to invest, up to 40 hours of your time, 80 hours, some of these games and stuff like that. About a year ago, I did a contract with a company that was making an AI thing, which I think today would be completely defined as AI slop. It didn't start out this way necessarily, but that's totally what it is now. What they were doing was it was kind of a sandbox experience, and it started out with kind of a not bad idea. You could just uh, generate art assets with AI, and then you could kind of place those together in a sandbox experience, and allowed people who couldn't typically make games to kind of start to make together games. I was in there. I was linking up kind of some animation tools and stuff like that. I have like a gameplay background, technical artwork. So I was in there, doing my thing. They got this idea that they could take it even further, and they thought, they got delusions of grandeur. They thought, oh, let's have the AI generate more and more. Their idea was that they were going to be Chat GPT of games, and they were going to do prompt to games. This has I saw so many problems with this right off the bat. You can't, even if there's straight prompt to games, there's so much into games that you need to understand as a human being. There's an elaborate tutorial system, a tutorial sequence that needs to go into games when they, to be playable. And as the games get more and more unique, that tutorial needs to become more and more advanced, and you need play testing and back and forth. This is just not, they were not thinking about this kind of stuff. I knew it. I tried to bring it up, and, they swiftly canceled my contract and went, we're superstars, we're the future. And now what they have is, I can, I can only assume they've made a fraudulent kind of thing, and they're using it to fraudulently milk investment money. But who knows? I mean, maybe they actually believe that it works. It it's a disaster, and it just creates unplayable stuff. But I want to talk, about, like, even if this was possible, like, let's talk about it as a straight business strategy. Like, currently, uh, there's a question of, can AI generate a work of art that's a masterpiece? And yes, AI generates masterfully done art. I studied art, and AI can make things that nobody in art school had, from a strictly technical standpoint, could do. So what does this mean? This means does that mean everybody can create a Michelangelo-esque work of art? Does that mean everybody's going to now be considered Michelangelo? Does that mean that you can have AI generate you a masterpiece painting, and you're going to be able to sell it for $1 million? No. Like, now, what you get is a lot of amazing artwork, billions of pieces of art, and I challenge anybody to even get 1,000 views on one of those works of art. So uh, so the question is, we're going to create a tool that allows, a bunch of people to make their own video game. Okay, so what's that going to do? Does that mean that we're going to create a thriving economy where everybody's a game developer and they're all, paying their mortgage based on making these games? Well, can you even get 1,000 people to view one image? How long does it take to look at an AI generated image? Oh, it takes like 5 seconds. People aren't even interested in doing that. How long does it take to actually play a video game? You got to invest, up to 40 hours of your time, 80 hours, some of these games and stuff like that. You can't get the general public to invest 5 seconds to look at an AI generated image, but you think when AI starts turning out a billion games that uh, people are going to play these billions of games. How is this like a business model? So ultimately these questions, along with what I mentioned about the struggles that AI is going to have to create an experience that is actually playable, you know, this anybody investors putting money into this is a hot topic in investment circles, but what's the reality? Is there a market for this? Just go, without AI, go look at how many games are already playable just by the indie developer, community. There's already millions, and we don't even, and so just exponentially increase that. Who is going to play these games? Like, so AI generated games, like if you're making a tool that makes AI generated games, I don't know where you're going to take that.